Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 23rd of April. Pakistan Prime Minister visits Saudi Arabia to discuss Yemen crisis. Struggle for survival continues as cyclone claims 50 lives in India's eastern Bihar. And rights groups demand better safety in Bangladesh garment industry. And now for all the details, Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif left for Saudi on Thursday. The one-day visit comes at a time when Pakistan had rejected Saudi's demand for combat support in Yemen.
Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, Army Chief General Raheel Sharif and Defence Minister Khwaja Asif will meet Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz in an effort to win back Riyadh's confidence. The visit was planned during a high-level meeting on Wednesday, which was attended by all the three leaders. They are expected to explain to the Saudi leadership the reasons behind Islamabad's decision not to send its troops to Yemen. Pakistan Parliament had earlier this month, by a unanimous resolution, asked the government to remain neutral in the ongoing conflict. This had, however, infuriated UAE and the Arab League, which criticized Pakistan's stance. The UAE had threatened that the decision would come at a price for Islamabad. There was also speculation that the Gulf countries could send back some 1.4 million Pakistanis working there. An estimated $13.3 billion was sent home in past 9 months by Pakistani expats in the Gulf region. Islamabad, which largely depends on the Gulf countries to keep its economy running, had sent various delegations to pacify the Saudi leadership. However, according to reports, Riyadh has reiterated its demand as it is likely to launch a ground offensive against the Houthi rebels. Sunni-dominated Pakistan and Saudi have had long religious and economic ties. Countries including the UAE and Saudi also have large investments in Pakistan.
As Bangladesh prepares to mark the second anniversary of the Rana Plaza accident, one of the world's biggest industrial disasters, the Human Rights Watch has called for better safety for the garment workers in the country. An estimated 4.2 million Bangladeshis, mostly women, are employed in the sector.
As the survivors of the Rana Plaza collapse are still struggling to bring their lives back to normalcy, rights groups have slammed the working conditions prevalent in the industry. New York-based observers group Human Rights Watch called for an end to exploitation of workers and ensuring international safety standards.
So conditions vary across Bangladesh's garment factories, but in too many we see that conditions are quite bad, including workers who are forced to work overtime, sometimes without being paid for it, workers who are subject to verbal and even physical harassment, often because they can't meet production quotas, and factories that deny workers sick leave or maternity leave, even holidays.
According to a recent study by a Bangladeshi non-governmental organization, nearly 59% of the survivors still suffer from trauma and depression. Many of the thousands who became handicapped post the accident continue to struggle to make a living in Bangladesh. They complain of not getting adequate compensation even after 2 years.
এই রানা প্লাজা দুর্ঘটনায় আমি আমার এই হাতটা হারিয়েছি। এই দুর্ঘটনায় আমি আমার যে ক্ষতিপূরণ পাওয়ার কথা আমি সেই ক্ষতিপূরণ পাচ্ছি না। ভবিষ্যতে সেই ক্ষতিপূরণটা পাবো কিনা আমি আদৌ জানি না। এই ক্ষতিপূরণের দাবির জন্য আমরা এখানে আন্দোলন করতেছি। আমরা আমাদের ক্ষতিপূরণ চাই, আমরা আমাদের ক্ষতিপূরণ চাই।
Rana Plaza, an 8-storied building in the outskirts of Bangladesh capital Dhaka, which housed a number of garment manufacturing units, collapsed on April 24, 2014, killing some 1,129 people. The incident had exposed the lack of basic security in an industry which is also Bangladesh's largest income generator. Garment sector employees, mostly women, work in the country's clothing sector for an average monthly salary of $38.
The death toll in the severe storm that hit India's eastern Bihar province crossed 50 on Thursday, even as others languish in a state of injury. The calamity also damaged livestock and standing crops worth millions. Here's a report.
People of Bihar continue to look for their belongings as they struggle to gather back their lives from the debris. Nature's fury struck the region on Wednesday evening as a severe storm combined with hail wreaked havoc, killing dozens and injuring over 100 others. While Purnia bore the brunt with maximum casualties, Katihar, Madhepura and Saharsa were also badly hit. Districts like Madhubani, Darbhanga and Bhagalpur were also affected. The storm left a trail of destruction with many families being rendered homeless. Trees were uprooted and power lines were snapped too. Standing crops were also flattened, incurring heavy loss. The disaster comes at a time when farmers were already grappling with unseasonal rain this year.
ये मेरा जो है ये मेरा खेत है, ये मेरा जितना भी जो मकई लगा हुआ है ये बर्बाद हो गया और अगले कर्ज लिए हुए हैं और ये कर्ज भी कहाँ से हम चुकाएंगे.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar took an aerial survey of the affected areas and promised all possible help for rehabilitation. Though the Met Department is said to have warned of hails, the impending cyclonic storm was highly unexpected. The nor'wester which descended from Nepal has also shattered various districts in neighbouring Bangladesh, leaving at least 9 people dead.
There is an urgent need to create economic opportunities for the youth of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, activists have said. The Himalayan region has identified unemployment as the major cause of suppression of the current generation. A report.
The local administration in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, or POK, needs to address the growing sense of alienation and deprivation among various segments of the society, mainly the youth. According to statistics, youth form 65% of POK's population, with 25% being below the age of 25 and mostly unemployed. Even qualified people are jobless due to the limited jobs in government sector.
यहाँ पर गवर्नमेंट को चाहिए कि तलबा के अंदर जो बेरोज़गारी है इसको ख़त्म करने के लिए एहसास महरूमी जो है उसको ख़त्म करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट को आगे आना पड़ेगा और इस तरह के जो फ़नी इदारे हैं, टेक्निकल कॉलेजेस हैं, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज यहाँ पे नहीं है, मेडिकल कॉलेज यहाँ पे नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से तलबा जो है रवायती तालीम तो हासिल कर लेते हैं लेकिन उनको रोज़गार जो है वो नहीं मिलता है. लिहाज इसकी वजह से तलबा के अंदर एहसास महरूमी बढ़ रही है.
The already shrunk private sector is also unable to cope with the growing needs. The puppet government, propped up by Islamabad, has done precious little to create jobs in the occupied region of POK.
यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट के अलावा प्राइवेट सेक्टर को भी आना चाहिए. अगरचे प्राइवेट सेक्टर के कुछ इदारे हैं जिनमें महदूद सतह पर जो है तलबा को या जो है स्टूडेंट्स को रोज़गार के मौके मिलते हैं. यहाँ पे जो है इनकी तादाद में भी इजाफा होना चाहिए ताकि जो है गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर से जो कमी पूरा नहीं होती है तो वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर को भी जो है ज्वाइन करें ताकि यहाँ से बेरोज़गारी का खात्मा हो और मुआशरा जो है एज ए होल एक सेहतमंद मुआशरा जो है तश्कील पाए.
Hussain added that continued state suppression may militarize young men in POK, giving rise to extremism.
यहाँ पे जो मजहबी जो जमातें हैं तलबा और नौजवान जो है उसकी तरफ बढ़ते जा रहे हैं और उनके जिसकी वजह से उनके अंदर जो है मजहबी जो लेवल है वो ज़्यादा बढ़ता जा रहा है और जिसकी वजह से तलबा जो है एक्सट्रीम उस राव की तरफ बहते जा रहे हैं.
Analysts lay stress on the need to empower youth in POK for a better future, along with encouraging initiatives like trade, travel and cross-border ventures.
As Islamabad backed the deal with Beijing for the China-Pakistan economic corridor, there's a fear that it could only benefit influential provinces rather than the backward regions. Northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government has said it will oppose any change in the original plan of the project.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Parvez Khattak on Wednesday accused that Eastern Punjab province ruled by Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's brother Shehbaz Sharif is getting the lion's share of the project. According to the proposal, Punjab will be getting a share of $11 billion, Sindh $9 billion and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa $2.7 billion, while its largest province, Balochistan, is completely left out from the $27.7 billion deal. This comes despite Gwadar Port, where the project begins, lies in Balochistan. Khattak also said that the federal government is trying to change the route of the original plan, which will only increase the distance by 6,375 miles. He said his government will protest any move to omit Dera Ismail Khan from the proposed corridor.
Changes ये किए हैं कि ये जाके हरिपुर अस्पताल मियाँवाली बखर लाया डीजी खान जैकबाबाद खुजदार पंजगोर गवादर और फिर आगे कराची और मुल्तान भी इसके साथ अटैच करने वाले.
Pakistan and China had on Monday signed the multi-billion deal which will connect its Balochistan province to China's Xinjiang region. The corridor is China's biggest overseas investment ever. It also grants Beijing control of the Gwadar port facing the Persian Gulf, through which nearly 20% of world's oil trade takes place.
Most of the victims of the Nepal road accident were identified by Thursday. At least 17 Indian pilgrims were killed when a bus skid off the highway in central Nepal. The death toll is expected to rise as money continue to be critical.
The incident took place when the double-decker bus fell off the Prithvi highway in Dhading district, some 10 miles west of Kathmandu on Wednesday. The vehicle was carrying around 45 pilgrims, all from India's western province of Gujarat, who were returning after visiting the iconic Pashupatinath temple in the Nepalese capital. Police officials said dozens still remain in critical condition, while many succumbed in the hospital.
घटनास्थलमा भएका 29 जना घाइतेलाई उद्धार गरेर प्रहरीले तत्काल नजिकका हस्पिटलहरुमा पठाउने काम भयो। अब अहिले मृतकको उद्धार गर्ने काम अझै पनि भइरहेछ। 14 वटा मृत शरीर फेला परेको छ। अब सँगै हिँडेको अर्को बसको यात्रीहरुको भनाइअनुसार 45 जना व्यक्ति हुनुपर्छ यो गाडीमा।
Indian government has sent special aircraft to bring back the mortal remains of the deceased. Although the cause of the incident is yet to be known, locals say the tragedy took place when the driver was trying to negotiate a sharp bend on the way. This is the second accident in a month when Indian pilgrims travelling to the same temple have faced a tragic end. On March 23rd, 5 members of a family from India's eastern Jharkhand province died in an accident in Makwanpur. Deadly road crashes are common in the Himalayan nation due to its winding, narrow roads.
While the security forces might be busy fighting the Taliban on battleground, here comes 2 men who are set to do the same, but on the silver screen. Take a look at this upcoming political satire.
Bollywood's tryst with films around militancy continues. Only this time, it is set to get rip-tickling. Welcome to Karachi, which opens next month, is the newest offering that is ready to fight the terrorists, but in its own humorous way. Lead actors Arshad Varsi and Jackie Bhagnani, along with Lauren Gottlieb, gave a sneak peek into their film in entertainment capital Mumbai. Varsi said his latest movie dealt with the issue in a light-hearted manner.
This is humor, absolutely funny, hilarious. So it's in that space जहाँ पे कोई बड़ी बात बोलने की कोशिश नहीं की गई. It's not political. It's fun. Kabul Express was political. It was very heavy. So this is now. So great.
Welcome to Karachi offers a humorous glimpse of Karachi in general and features a mix of Indian and Pakistani actors.
I want Indian passport. And you? American UK.
Welcome to Karachi is a story about 2 Indian guys who derive a plan to go to the United States. In a bid to avoid hassle around obtaining a visa, the 2 aim to reach the US via boat. But things go awry when a storm interrupts their journey and lands them in Karachi without their passports. What follows is their journey after they get trapped by the Taliban and they desperately try to find a way to get back to India.
बहुत अंधेरा है, मर गए हैं क्या?
तेरे को मालूम है हम लोग किधर हैं?
किधर?
कराची.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Pakistan Prime Minister visits Saudi Arabia to discuss Yemen crisis. Struggle for survival continues as cyclone claims 50 lives in India's eastern Bihar. And rights groups demand better safety in Bangladesh garment industry. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.